Hey you, yeah, you. I see you eyeing that rulebook. Don't even think about it. Like, seriously, you're kind of stealing my thunder because that's my job. I'm Ryan from How I Roll, and in this Rip Up the Rules, I'm going to teach you how to set up and play Clash of Clans The Epic Raid so that you can build, battle, and raid your way to victory. Clash of Clans The Epic Raid is designed by Eric Lang and Ken Gruhl and is published by Maestro Media, who helped sponsor this video. It's a tabletop experience of the beloved Clash of Clans for 2 to 4 players that plays in about an hour to an hour and a half. But before we get ready to launch Epic Raids, please quickly hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so we can hang out for more Rip Up the Rules videos and other awesome board game content. Now, gather your clan and come and raid my studio so I can show you how to play this game. If you've ever wondered what it would be like to live inside a video game, now's your chance. Clash of Clans The Epic Raid immerses you into the Clash of Clans world right on your very own table. You're a chief leading your own village, upgrading your town hall, constructing buildings, training troops, and of course raiding your opponent's villages to steal resources and earn stars. The player who earns the most stars by the end of the game wins. Think you've got what it takes to be the ultimate chief? Let's find out. Here's how you set up the game. Place the main board in the center of the table where everyone can reach it. Place all of the units in a supply to the side of the main board. Place all the gold collector and elixir collector tiles in a stack onto their matching spaces on the main board. Shuffle all of the building and unit tiles into a face-down deck beside the main board. Then fill the build areas of the main board by placing one of these tiles face up onto each of these spaces, leaving any spots that are marked for a higher player count empty. Since I'm setting up for a 3-player game, this is what it looks like. Place all the gems, elixir, gold, and discount tokens beside the board to form the bank. Also set the attack and defense dice and the fire tokens in a supply near the board. Under the defenses area, place the walls and the 3 defense batteries, which are cannons, archer towers, and wizard towers, beneath the respective illustration. And then give the first player token to the person who most recently raided the fridge. I just wanted to go first. Give each player a player board of the color of their choosing. Each player also takes the following, matching their player color wherever relevant. 3 builders that they place beside their player board, 4 town hall upgrades placed on levels 2 to 5 of their player board. Also place 1 master builder on the level 4 space, 1 barbarian and 1 archer unit onto their depicted spaces, 1 gem which is placed in the treasury, 1 town hall tile, 1 gold collector tile, and 1 elixir collector tile configured like this to form your starting village. A town hall placed onto the town hall tile, and lastly their score marker which is placed on the 0 space of the star track. And just like that, you're all set up and ready to start clashing. Clash of Clans The Epic Raid is played over several rounds. Each round has 5 phases. These phases are collect, builder action, score village, remove, and discount and refill. Rounds continue like this until one player reaches 40 or more stars at the end of a score village phase. At that point, the player with the most stars wins. So let me break down these 5 phases for you so that you can get down to playing. First, the collect phase. Throughout the game, you'll construct buildings that have this collect icon on it. Each round, these will provide you with the 3 main resources, which are gold, elixir, and gems. Gold is going to be used throughout the game to purchase buildings and defenses, while elixir will be spent to hire units. And these precious gems, they're a wild resource that can be spent as gold or elixir. Look at your village and collect the depicted resources on all of your collect tiles. For example, in this village, I would collect 2 gold, 1 elixir, and 1 gem, which I would take from the supply and place in my treasury. This collection phase, and most of the others, are very quick and players can perform them simultaneously. The only one that really needs to happen in player order is phase 2, the builder action phase. This is by far the biggest phase and where we'll spend most of our time, as this is where all of the action really goes down. So let's get to it. Beginning with the starting player who has the first player token and moving clockwise around the table, players take turns placing one of their available builders onto an unoccupied space on the main board that isn't marked for a higher player count. So I could place my builder here, but I couldn't place it here because there's already a builder there, and I also couldn't go here since we're only playing with 3 players. This phase continues until everyone has placed all of their builders. When you place a builder, you immediately resolve the action. Here's how each action works. These 4 green banners each provide action spaces to build new tiles into your village. When you place a builder on one of these spaces, you immediately choose a tile in that column to build by paying its cost. Now, there are 2 types of tiles, building tiles and unit tiles. Building tiles all have their gold cost listed in the top left corner, their defense value in the top right, as well as their type and ability pictured on the bottom. There are 3 types of buildings: collectors, which will provide you with resources during the collect phase; bonus, which gives you bonuses and boosts to your other buildings and units; and score, which earn you stars during the score village phase. And the unit tiles also show a cost in the top left, which is how much elixir it costs. Their attack value is in this red die, their defensive strength on this gray shield, a silhouette of the unit it provides on the left here, and at the bottom its special ability if it has one, and also some fun flavor text. Whichever tile you choose to build, you first must pay its cost, and then if it's a building tile, place it in your village adjacent to another building. And if it's a unit, place it on your player board. In this situation, if I place my builder here, I could pay 3 gold to build the barracks and place it in my village, which would give me the bonus of re-rolling 1 blank die when I'm raiding. Or I could pay 6 elixir to recruit this epic archer queen, placing this tile on my player board and putting an archer queen unit on it. Even if you run out of space on your player board, you can have an unlimited number of units recruited. Just place them on the table beside your board. This take first player space does exactly what it sounds like it does. Whoever goes here takes the first player token and also gains 1 gem and will be the starting player in the next round. These defenses action spaces allow you to protect your village against the ensuing raids of your rivals. When you place a worker here, you gain one of these 3 defense batteries by paying its depicted gold cost, and you also gain 2 walls. Then you immediately place these into your village. Walls can go on any straight edge of a building tile, whether it's on the edge of the map or between 2 tiles. You place these defense batteries along these circular corners adjacent to at least 1 building tile. These defenses are going to help you when your opponents raid your village, but I'll explain how that works when we get to raids. For now, here's an example of how this defenses action might go down. If I placed a builder here, I would get 2 walls and then could either take a cannon for free or pay 1 gold for an archer tower or 2 gold to gain a wizard tower. I'll pay 1 gold to take the archer tower. I could place my 2 walls along any of these straight edges where I don't already have one, but I think I'll place them here and here. And this archer tower could go in any of these spaces where I don't already have a battery. This upgrade town hall space lets me build up my town hall tile and unlocks bonuses on my player board. When you go here, you pay the elixir cost of the next upgrade level and then place that upgrade piece on your town hall and gain the immediate bonus listed on your board. This level 2 upgrade gives you a free cannon which you place right away. Level 3 rewards you with 2 stars and also 2 walls which you put in your village. Level 4 unlocks your Master Builder, which immediately joins your workforce and can even be used this round. The Master Builder is special because it can be placed on an action that's already occupied by another builder. For example, it could be placed here even though this action space has already been taken. The only exception to this is the take first player space, which can only ever have 1 builder at it. And level 5 grants you 4 stars and 2 walls. So in this situation, if I took that action, I would pay 2 elixir to take this town hall upgrade and place it on top of my town hall and immediately gain 2 stars and build 2 walls in my village. And the only action spaces left are the raid spaces, where you get to go and pillage a village in order to gain resources and stars. If that sounds like fun to you, let's get into it and see how this works. Both the raid and epic raid action spaces work exactly the same, except the epic raid gives you a bonus of 1 gold or elixir before you start your raid. When you take this action, first, choose which opponent's village you're going to build. Basically, which of your friends do you want to target? Then, choose a single unit type that will attack. If you have multiple of the unit type, you can choose to use as many of them as you would like to form a single attack together. And finally, deploy your selected unit or units to an exposed building tile or wall. An exposed building tile or wall essentially means a building tile or wall that has a clear path to it with no other walls or building tiles blocking it. However, tiles and walls that have undefeated units on them or that have been burned don't block it. Let me show you what this means. Take a look down at the table. In this village, this gold collector is exposed because it's on the outside edge with no walls protecting it. Same with this elixir collector and this barracks. This wall is exposed, but this gold collector isn't because it has this building on this side, this building on this side, and this wall protecting it. This wall also isn't exposed because this gold collector is in the way and would need to be attacked first. This wall is exposed because there's this undefeated archer here, allowing your troops to pass from this edge right through to attack this wall. And lastly, since this building tile here is both burned and has an undefeated unit on it, this town hall becomes exposed as you could pass through this tile to attack it. Once you've chosen which wall or tile you'll attack, the defender can first use any of their available defense batteries to try to fend off the attack. They roll 1 defense die for each battery that's adjacent to where the raid is taking place and then apply the damage rolled to the attacking units. If the die shows a blank side, no damage is applied. If it shows a sword, it does 1 damage. And if it shows a sword and a plus sign, it still does 1 damage, and you immediately get to roll an additional defense die. In addition to these basic rules for defense, each battery has its own unique rules. Cannons can only attack ground units, so if it's a flying unit, the cannon does not provide a die roll. The archer tower can target any units, whether they're on the ground or flying. And the wizard tower, like the cannon, can only target ground units, but offers the bonus that whenever you roll the sword and plus sign, that die does 2 damage in addition to getting another roll. Because of this ability of the wizard tower, you should always roll its dice separately from any other batteries that are defending. Once all the defense dice have been rolled, the defender applies damage to the attacking units. If an amount of damage equal to a unit's defense is rolled, that unit has been defeated and you lay it on its side. It just needs to take a little nap. No partial damage ever gets tracked in this game, so if there isn't enough damage to defeat the unit, just ignore it. After the defense dice are resolved, if any units are still undefeated and standing up, you can now attempt to burn the wall or tile you are targeting. Gather and roll the total amount of dice depicted across the units you're attacking with. These dice work just like the defense dice with blanks that do 0 damage, a single sword that inflicts 1 damage, and a sword and a plus that hits once and lets you roll another die, and additionally this 2 sword face that does 2 damage. If the total damage of the dice rolled equals or exceeds the defense listed on the wall or building tile, immediately place a fire token on it and gain 1 star. And if you burned a collector building, you also collect the resource that building produces. That raid is now over, but you leave the undefeated units on the village tiles as they help create more exposed tiles and walls for future attacks. If at this point you have any remaining units on your player board, you repeat this whole process by choosing a unit type and launching a raid against an exposed building or wall in the same village. Continue doing this until you have no more units left on your player board. 2 quick notes. First, most units only attack buildings and walls. However, some units will allow you to target defense batteries. Second, any buildings, walls, or defense batteries that have been burned no longer function and don't contribute toward defense rolls, scoring, or bonuses. They essentially don't contribute or count toward anything while they're burned. Here's an example of how a raid could go down. I've decided to raid this village. My army consists of 2 barbarians, 1 giant, and 1 archer. These would normally be on my player board, but I've decided to place them here for the sake of the video. I'm going to start with my giant who has an epic ability. The giant can enter on this edge because it's exposed and attack this collector. But before it attacks, these 2 defense batteries can target it. Fortunately for me, they only rolled 2 damage. So since the defense level of the giant is 3, he's fine. Now I get to roll my attack dice, and I rolled 4 damage. Now these damage can be applied not only to the building tile that I'm on, but also the defenses around it. So first of all, I burn this collector, which gains me 1 gold since it's a collector, and it costs me 2 of my attack points, and I get a star for burning it. Now I can distribute my final 2 damage to any of these 3 defenses. Each of them has 1 health point, so I can take out 2 of them. I think I'll burn these 2 defense batteries to help out my teammates. Now that the giant's done, I can either send barbarians or the archer, and if I send my barbarians, I can send either one or both at the same time. I think I'll send my archer over here to attack this wall. There aren't any defense batteries there, so no defense dice are rolled. The archer rolled the attack dice and way overkilled it by rolling 4 attack. That's certainly enough to burn the wall and gain 1 star point. And finally, the town halls become exposed because everything in this path is burned. So I'm going to send both of my barbarians along this path and into the town hall space to attack. These 2 defense batteries are burned, so they don't do anything, but there is still this cannon that gets to roll the defense die. Even though it only got to roll 1 die, it got quite lucky and rolled this sword with a plus sign, which let it roll another die and got another sword, which is 2 damage. Each of these barbarians only has 1 defense point, so both of them got defeated. And with that, my attack is over and I didn't get to burn the town hall. And those are all of the actions. They all work very smoothly, but here's a quick recap of what you can do in the action phase. You place a builder on an unoccupied space, unless it's your master builder who can go on an occupied space. And you can either build a tile by paying gold for a building or elixir for a unit, take the first player token, upgrade your town hall, build up your defenses, or launch a raid. And that's it. Players continue taking 1 turn at a time, going around the table in clockwise order until no one has any workers left. Keep in mind that if some players have unlocked their master builder and some haven't, players won't have even turns. If it's your turn and you don't have a worker left, just pass to the next player, which is kind of a bummer. And now on to Phase 3, Score Village, where we will see all our hard work pay off. Everyone scores stars simultaneously. Your town hall always gives you 1 star per level of it that you've built, and also any score buildings gain you stars based on their conditions. Just remember that any buildings that are on fire don't give you any points. I guess that serves you right for not keeping a fire extinguisher handy. For example, in this village, this gold statue scores 1 star per gold collector. Unfortunately, its only gold collector is burned, so this gets 0 stars. This mighty hero statue scores 3 stars if it's not burned, and it's not burned, so that's 3 stars. And the town hall always scores 1 star per level. Since this is a level 2 and it's not burned, that's another 2 stars for a grand total of 5 stars. If at the end of the Score Village phase anyone has 40 or more stars, the game ends immediately and the player with the most stars wins. If not, continue into Phase 4, which is the Remove phase. During this phase, every player does the following. Remove all of the fire tokens from your burned buildings, walls, and defense batteries. Take all of your builders back and place them by your player board. And remove any of your units that are still in enemy villages and return them to their tiles. And finally, Phase 5, Discount and Refill. First, place a discount token on every remaining tile on the main board that wasn't built this round, and then refill the empty spaces in the build area with new tiles from the main deck. These discount tokens on buildings can build up from round to round if they're not selected. For every token on a building, when a player builds it, they pay 1 resource less. So building this workshop would cost 5 gold instead of 8 since it has 3 discount tokens on it. And those are the 5 phases of a round. You collect resources, take builder actions, score your village, remove fire builders and units, and then refill the main board. Simple. You continue playing the game like this round after round until one player has amassed 40 or more stars at the end of the Score Village phase. Once this has happened, the game is over and the player with the most stars is crowned as the ultimate village chief, and the other players, they should probably work on their gemming skills and come back when they've upped their raiding abilities. And that's Clash of Clans, the epic raid without a rulebook, so you can get right down to raiding without doing any reading. I hope you have a fantastic time playing this game and that this video helps you jump right in and start playing. If anything is still unclear for you, or you have a question you want to share or your thoughts on this game, drop a comment below. I always reply to all my comments. I've linked the Board Game Geek page for Clash of Clans, the epic raid in the description below, where you can discover even more about this game. Thanks so much for watching another Rip Up the Rules. There's always room at the table for you.